Hey, it's Hammer Time. On this episode of Hammer Time, we have our good friend, AP Powell. AP, this guy is a force of nature and a big contributor when it comes to our military and our veterans community. AP served in the military himself, but there's got to be 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 AP Powells because the man is everywhere. AP, welcome to Hammer Time.
Thank you so much for having me, Glenn. I appreciate it.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
We're both in Arizona. I come from a different country, New York.
Yes.
You come from Kentucky.
I come from Louisville, Kentucky.
How did you wind up in Arizona?
I actually came to visit my sister about 13 years ago. Her husband worked for American West. He actually was a former employee of the FAA, and Doug Parker brought him on to help him merge the airlines together. And they invited me out the first time in August. Didn't go so well. It was a little warm for me coming from California. And the second time I came December for my birthday, and I've been here ever since.
Wow. No, it's funny. I noticed you mentioned August because the first time I came here was when I was looking at law schools. It was in March. I'm like, this is the greatest place. Why doesn't everyone live here? And I will admit, the next time was the end of July. And I was like, wow. Now at the Chamber of Commerce, we call it a dry heat.
Right.
But it was pretty hot.
Yeah, well, I'll take it over the snow in Kentucky, and I'll take it over the hurricanes in California. And now Arizona, thanks to you and the governor and all the people who've been pushing Arizona, it's become one of the key cities and key states to live in. The city of Phoenix and the state of Arizona has just become one of the top places to live in the country.
Well, AP, you've contributed a tremendous amount to that, particularly in the space of veterans.
Yes.
And maybe if you could talk a little bit about, you've started something called Arizona that is inspiring, and it goes beyond Arizona's borders. Can you talk a little bit about that and what inspired you to start this?
Yes, initially we started the Checker Flag Run Foundation, and people didn't understand what it really meant. So I said, I'm a veteran, everybody around me is veterans. My passion is for veterans and students. So I said, we need to rebrand it, and it was actually my partner Aaron's idea to rebrand it. He's like, nobody knows what Checker Flag Run is. It sounds like we were partners with NASCAR, which we were at the time. And so we was doing a lot of stuff with NASCAR. So we actually changed the name to Arizona. And our mission is serving, we want to ensure that every veteran and student gets to cross the finish line. So that's kind of what we've catered to, and making sure that we actually serve our 750,000 veterans that live in the state of Arizona, our 5 military bases in the state of Arizona, and also our 2,000 veteran-owned companies that reside here in the state of Arizona.
I mean, this has got to be one of the top states in the country when it comes to veterans making this the permanent place that they want to live.
Yes, I mean, one of the main reasons, Glenn, that veterans move here, if you retire from the military and you live in Southern or Northern California, you can't afford on a military pension to live in Southern or Northern California. So the states that you look at are Arizona, Nevada, and Texas, and we're so close to Arizona. So close to the state of California. It's a border state, so people love to move here and reside here. And we have all the things you could ask for, especially if you're trying to transition and get a job coming from the military to the public sector. We have all of the missile defense companies. We just have a little bit of everything for everybody here in our great state of Arizona.
Now, AP, you put on a program about a month ago with the Goldwater Institute.
Yes.
About the issue with the employment for military spouses.
Yes.
I was stunned, not in a positive way, but stunned to learn that the unemployment rate for military spouses is at least 14% nationwide.
Yes.
About quadruple for all other populations.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about why you put that on and some things we can do?
Yes, I think one of the main reasons we put it on, I think the spouses, they serve too. So when I served in the military, your mom, your parents, your daughter, I mean, even if you join any of the organizations, what we call military organizations like the American Legion or the DAV, they have like 3 different organizations inside. They have the Sons of the American Legion, which are the sons of a veteran. They have the Ladies Auxiliary, where women family members of veterans, and they have what they call Legionnaires, which are actually veterans. So all those organizations make up that kind of body. So that's pretty much where all the stuff comes from.
And I know we've got a bipartisan delegation. We just did occupational licensing here.
Right.
Senator Sinema was a leader on that when she was in the state legislature. And Senator McSally spoke at the event as a veteran herself.
Yes, well, I think I want to first give a shout out to my great senator we both miss, is Senator John McCain. He actually was inspirational in me helping get this thing started because, his commitment to the veterans. And I love the way that those two ladies picked up the torch and ran with it. Senator McSally, she's a former Air Force pilot, combat pilot. Our other senator, who's been there from day one, making sure she puts veterans and push bills when she's in the state legislature, she's been at the forefront from day one. So it's just great to have two people like that that's pushing for the veterans, to speak for the vets who can't speak for themselves.
Arizona continues to be very well represented in the United States Senate on this critical issue. And, until we get that 14% unemployment rate for military spouses to zero,
right,
we all have a lot of work to do.
We definitely do. And I think that we want to, with our state being out front with the bill our governor passed, with the hard work from Goldwater, hard work from the chamber, and all the people who played a big part in that, we're actually going to take it to another level now. We're actually introducing that into the U.S. Chamber's National Military Spouse event to talk about what we're doing in Arizona, to get buy-in and create a platform so other states adopt what we did here in Arizona. We've got the Missile Defense Chambers. We've got a little bit of everything, but everybody, now that they know you're involved, everybody's starting to get involved. So we really appreciate that.
I'm not so sure about that, but your Instagram feed has got to be the most fascinating feed in the state of Arizona. I never know who you're going to be with. It's nice for you to be on the show with a mere mortal. We just passed Wayne's World in terms of viewership, so I'm proud of that. But can you explain it, Ken Griffey Jr.? I mean, I can't keep track of the celebrities that show up on with AP Powell.
A lot of that comes from my background. I was actually in the entertainment business most of my life, and I wanted to figure out how could I carry over some of my entertainment stuff into the nonprofit world and make it a little more exciting, because I wanted to make our nonprofit a little more non-traditional. So I've been able to, being in the management business, I was at a company called The Firm, and we managed pretty much about 70-80% of Hollywood. Wow. At the time when I was there, I was the vice president of development at the company, and then also I was a partner at Universal in New York and LA, and I actually got to meet a bunch of these guys, and I'm glad some of them are still around. So I've been able to double back and make it a little more exciting for our foundation in the state of Arizona, to bring in some constituents and friends who support what I support, and everybody loves our vets. So it's really been inspiring to see the support that we get from comedians and actors and entertainers who want to come to our state, athletes, the Larry Fitzgeralds of the world, and the Ken Griffeys of the world. Everybody loves our vets because they protect us. I mean, when we sit down and eat dinner at night, or you at home with your family, you're able to play with your kids in the backyard, there's somebody on the front line right now sweating to protect us and putting their life on the line to make sure that we all have the life that we have.
Well, AP, you have the real gift, and it's a rare gift, to bring people from all sorts of different backgrounds together and to get them moving forward for positive causes. That's really a gift and a blessing.
Well, I really appreciate it. I'm a firm believer in teamwork makes the dream work. So the more people that we can get on board and explain what we do, and they understand. I know a lot of times it's kind of confusing, because I've been able to have a mix of entertainment and politicians, and they're like, what is actually going on? But at the end of the day, I think people now we're getting more focused on what we do in the community, in the veteran community, and all the businesses understand exactly what we're trying to accomplish, and they're getting on board. But we really appreciate it, because we have people like yourself and the Randy Kendricks and the Glenn Hammers and the Governor Duceys and some of our mayors. And one thing about our veterans and students, they're both nonpartisan. So, regardless what party you in, Republican, Democrat, our vets serve for everybody.
Well, whenever my wife Tali sees you, she loves you. She's like, you've got to listen to AP. This guy knows what he's doing. You will learn, you will grow, and maybe some of that being a Southern gentleman will rub off on this ex-New Yorker.
Well, I appreciate it. I probably sit here today because Tali told you to probably have this interview. So, I really appreciate Tali. She's been great. She's always inspired. She always lights up the room, and you're great to have a supporter like that.
Well, that's awfully kind. I'll finish on with this question. What's next on AP Powell's agenda?
I guess I'll put a little pressure on myself and the state. I think I want to make sure that Arizona leads the way in what we do for our vets. And it's people like you and Eric Eversole and the platform we created for Arizona, the National Veteran Business Summit. We want that to kind of be the template for the whole country. So we've got buy-in, from the Phoenix Suns and all our local companies. But I think if we can make more of a national push with people that we have here in Arizona, like our senators and like yourself who used to work in D.C., and we get the word out and they see what we're actually trying to do, I think we can get more people on board. And like we asked you, like to explain it to other chambers how important it is for to activate our veteran companies and give them an opportunity to be a part of the corporate network, because a lot of them have a lot to bring to the table, and some of them are very substantial companies that people don't even know that are hiring veterans.
Well, count the Arizona Chamber in to help expand, help you continue your incredible success and get the word out with other chambers across America. AP Powell, I just appreciate your service, and we're lucky to have you in the great state of Arizona.
I appreciate it, and I want to make sure if you tune in, Chamber News is moving things here in Arizona. You need to pay attention. If you have a business and you want to do something exciting in the state, make sure you join the chamber.
Thank you, AP.
You're welcome.